Madhava Kunjabiyari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabiyari. Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari Gopi Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradari Gopi Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunjabiyari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Haribo Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Shri Radhe Radha Jaya Radha Shamasundar Shri Radhe Radha Shamasundar Jaya Radha Kalashanji Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Govinda Shri Radhe Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Shishi Radha Madhava ki jai Shishi Radha Shamasundar ki jai Shishi Radha Kalashanji ki jai Shishi Radha Govinda ki jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And we can sing both the Sanskrit and English together here, please. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam Devyam Sarasvatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayat. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer the respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayana, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Sarasvati, the goddess of learning, and unto Sri Vyasadeva, the author. Nashtapreya Shabreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamasloke Patir Bhavati Naishtaki. By regular attendance in the classes on this Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome in the heart is almost completely destroyed, and the loving service unto the personality of Godhead, whose praise with transcendental songs is established as an irrevocable fact. Om Gyan Timarandasya Gananjana Salakaya Chakshuranmalitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, but my spiritual master has opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer the respectful obeisances unto them. Okay, we're going to start with chapter 7, or excuse me, Canto 7, chapter 3, and I believe we're on 25, and we'll finish the chapter today. So, Hiranyakashipu is doing austerities. Some people, they do austerities by sitting in a forest for very long, for thousands of years even. And then eventually, at some point, because of their austerity, they get a benefit from it. Some people, they go to work all day, and they work 8 hours a week, where their boss whips them, psh, 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 and then, 8 hours a day, thank you. 40 hours a week, and their boss whips them, and then after every 2 weeks, they get a paycheck. They get some kind of payoff for their austerities. So Hiranyakashipu is doing some major austerities for some major benefits. There we go. Okay, so we have a few to go through here. So if you wouldn't mind, please read 2 at a time, and then we'll keep on going like that. So please.
Then getting up from the ground and seeing Lord Brahma before him, the head of the Daityas was overwhelmed by jubilation. With tears in his eyes, his whole body shivering, he began praying in a humble mood, with folded hands and a faltering voice to satisfy Lord Brahma. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord within this universe. At the end of each day of his life, the universe was fully covered with dense darkness by the influence of time, and then again during his next day, that self-effulgent Lord, by his own effulgence, manifests, maintains, and destroys Hare Krishna, the entire cosmic manifestation through the material energy, which is invested with the 3 modes of material nature. He, Lord Brahma, is the shelter of those modes of nature, Sattvagun, Rajagun, and Tamagun.
Hiranyakashipu has tears in his eyes from seeing Lord Brahma.
I offer my obeisances to the original personality within this universe, Lord Brahma, who is cognizant and who can apply his mind and realized intelligence in creating this cosmic manifestation. It is because of his activities that everything within the universe is visible. He is therefore the cause of all manifestations. Your Lordship, 29, your Lordship, being the origin of life of this material world, is the master and controller of the living entities, both moving and stationary, and you inspire their consciousness. You maintain the mind and the acting and knowledge-acquiring senses, and therefore you are the great controller of all the material elements and their qualities, and you are the controller of all desire.
Shri Shri Radha Kalashanji Ki Jai. So you'll notice in these prayers that Hiranyakashipu is often praying to Lord Brahma as if he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Matter of fact, he'll even say it. And it's very interesting, Srila Prabhupada in the purports, he doesn't really mentioned so much, at least in these ones, that Hiranyakashipu is misidentifying Lord Brahma as the Supreme Person, but he more goes to, each time Srila Prabhupada says, Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and this is why, this is why, this is why, and this is why. It's really interesting. Okay, go ahead, please.
My Lord, my dear Lord, by your form as the Vedas personified and through knowledge relating to the activities of all yajnik brahmanas, you spread the Vedic ritualistic ceremonies of the 7 kinds of sacrifices headed by Agni Shoma. Indeed, you aspire the yajnik brahmanas to perform the rituals mentioned in the 3 Vedas. Being the Supreme Soul, the Super Soul of all living entities, you are beginningless, endless, and omniscient beyond the limits of time and space. O my Lord, your Lordship is eternally awake, seeing everything that happens. As eternal time, you reduce the duration of life for all living entities through your different parts such as moments, seconds, minutes, and hours. Nonetheless, you are unchanged, resting in one place as the Super Soul, Witness, and Supreme Lord, the birthless, all-pervading controller who is the cause of life for all living entities.
There is nothing separate from you, whether it be better or lower, stationary or moving. The knowledge derived from the Vedic literatures like the Upanishads and from all the sublimbs of the original Vedic knowledge form your external body. You are Hiranyagarbha, the reservoir of the universe, but nonetheless, being situated as the supreme controller, you are transcendental to the material world, which consists of the 3 modes of material nature. O my Lord, being changelessly situated in your own abode, you expand your universal form within this cosmic manifestation, thus appearing to taste the material world. You are Brahman, the Super Soul, the oldest, the personality of Godhead.
Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme, who in his unlimited, unmanifested form has expanded the cosmic manifestation, the form of the totality of the universe. He possesses external and internal energies and the mixed energy called the marginal potency, which consists of all the living entities. O my Lord, O best of the givers of benediction, if you will kindly grant me the benediction I desire, please let me not meet death from any of the living entities created by you.
Grant me that I not die within any residence or outside any residence during the daytime or at night, nor on the ground or in the sky. Grant me that my death not be brought by any being other than those created by you, nor by any weapon, nor by any human being or animal.
Text 37 to 38. Grant me that I not meet death from any entity, living or non-living. Grant me further that I not be killed by any demigod or demon or by any great snake from the lower planets. Since no one can kill you in the battlefield, you have no competitor. Therefore, grant me the benediction that I too may have no rival. Give me sole lordship over all the living entities and presiding deities, and give me all the glories obtained by that position. Furthermore, give me all the mystic powers attained by long austerities and the practice of yoga, for these cannot be lost at any time.
So those are the famous benedictions given to Hiranyakashipu that he asks for. So we'll turn to text 26 and 27, please. Shri Hiranyakashipurvacha Kampante Kala Shrestena Yo nidena tamasavratam abhivyana jagad idam savyanjito joti svarochisha atmatri vritya chedam srijati aviti lampati rajasatvantam hodamne paraya mayate namaha. Bolo. Sri Hiranyakashipurvacha Kalvante Kalashristena Namaha. Let's go right to translation and purport, please. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord within this universe. At the end of each day of His life, the universe is fully covered with dense darkness by the influence of time. And then again, during His next day, the self-effulgent Lord, by His own effulgence, manifests, maintains, and destroys the entire cosmic manifestation through the material energy, which is invested with the three modes of material nature. He, Lord Brahma, is the shelter of those modes of nature, Sattvagun, Rajagun, and Tamagun. Purport. The words Abhi Vanag Jagad Idam refer to He who creates this cosmic manifestation. The original creator is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Jamadi Asya Yatyaha. Lord Brahma is the secondary creator. When Lord Brahma is empowered by Lord Krishna as the engineer to create the phenomenal world, he becomes so supremely powerful. He becomes the supremely powerful feature within the universe. The total material energy is created by Krishna, and later, taking advantage of all that has necessarily been created, Lord Brahma engineers the entire phenomenal universe. Wow. At the end of Lord Brahma's day, everything up to Svargaloka is inundated with water. And the next morning, when there's darkness in the universe, Brahma again brings the phenomenal manifestation into existence. Therefore, he is described here as he who manifests the universe. Trin Gunan Rinoti, Lord Brahma takes advantage of the three modes of material nature. Prakriti, material nature, is described here as Trivrita, the source of the three material modes. Srila Madhavacharya comments in the connection that Trivrita means Prakritya. Prakritya, yeah. Thus the Lord Krishna is the original creator, and Lord Brahma is the original engineer. Wow. Lord Brahma Ki Jai. So, Lord Brahma is being spoken here by Hiranyakashipu as the Supreme Lord. And this is often a perception that people have, is that Lord Brahma is the supreme person. I mean, look at this amazing things, this amazing services that our Lord Brahma is doing. It said that the universe that Lord Brahma is the engineer of is got these coverings, right? And each time the covering gets 10 times bigger than the next covering, right? And so it starts with earth, and it goes to water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, ego. And I think there's a few more layers of the universe, but I can't remember them at the time. But the first one, earth, is like 4 million miles thick. Wow. And how much is water then? Yeah, that's the thinnest one. How much is water? The next one then. If it's 10 times, it means it's 40 million miles thick. Wow. And how big is fire? 400 million miles thick. And what's next? Air? 4 billion miles. Then ether? 40 billion miles. Then mind? 400 billion years. Then intelligence? 4 quadrillion miles. Yeah. and then ego? 40 quadrillion miles. That's a lot. Yeah. I mean, we aren't going to make it unless we got some help. You know? So this is Lord Brahma. He's the engineer of this material world. And just look at how amazing it is. It's so big. I'll tell you what. I engineer a sandwich, and I'm like, yes. You know? And our Lord Brahma is so amazing that he's engineered this amazing creation, right? Who's Narada Muni's spiritual master? Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma. Who's Lord Brahma's guru? Krishna. Wow. We're the Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Vaishnav Sampradaya. Our start of our disciplic succession is Lord Brahma. How lucky are we? This isn't like every other universe. Some universes, Lord Brahma is not a devotee. Sometimes there's not even a Lord Brahma to take up the post, right? And so Krishna does it. Man, that'd be kind of cool, right? Because Krishna is your Lord Brahma. But so there's this one time that Lord Brahma he's going to see Lord Vishnu. He's going to take his darshan. You can say that this is Lord Brahma's going to the temple, right? Lord Brahma doesn't have to go to a temple and see Lord Krishna in the deity form. He just goes and sees Lord Vishnu, right? So he's going to go take his pilgrimage to the Lord Vishnu, and he knocks on the door, and Lord Vishnu's servant, who is it? Lord Brahma. Oh, okay, let me go toward Lord Vishnu. Hey, Lord Vishnu, Lord Brahma's here to see you. And what does he say? Which Lord Brahma? Lord Brahma is outside, and he can hear this. You go, what? What Lord Brahma? Can you imagine that if we were at the door of our friend and they said, which Tulsi Saki is it? Which Prabhupada Priya is it? Which Dustin? We go, what? It's me. It's me, Nanda Braja. How many Nanda Brajas do you know? And so you say, oh, well, he has 4 heads. Oh, that Lord Brahma. Okay. Yeah, he can come in. And he gets there, and so Lord Brahma says to Lord Vishnu, hey, I don't get it. Like, what's going on here? He says, well, yeah, there's so many Lord Brahmas. And he invites them all. And how many Lord Brahmas are there? Millions. There's millions of Lord Brahmas. And Lord Brahma, wow. So our Lord Brahma, who creates this huge universe, is accompanied with millions of other Lord Brahmas in the darshan of Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna. Right? Yeah. right? Can you imagine? Ours only has 4 heads. Man, can you imagine the Lord Brahma with 1,000,000 heads? Wow. You can't even comprehend it, really, to be honest. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so Krishna, our supreme personality of Godhead, is sitting with his friends, and they're having they're doing their cowherd things, right? And they decide that it's time for lunch, right? So when Krishna and his cowherd boyfriends have lunch, what do? Yeah, they share lunch. And how do they sit? In a circle. Who's in the center of that circle? Krishna. Krishna's in the center. And what is every Gopa thinking? Yeah. They're like, this is so amazing. Krishna's so amazing. And he just is always thinking about me. As a matter of fact, they're a little embarrassed about it, and they think, man, I wish my friends could really understand my relationship with Krishna. It's so amazing. Like they should know about this, you know. So they're big Sankirtan hearts wanting to share Krishna with their friends. And so the cows, though, you know, they leave grazing. The cowherd boys and Krishna they know the Lord land of Vrindavan well, so they're not so worried about their cows, and the cows go grazing and they're eating. And so some of the cowherd boys, they look up and they realize they can't see the cows. So, oh, hey, let's go find the cows. Krishna, I'll come help. No, Krishna, you stay here and eat. We'll go find the cows. So the cowherd boys go, and Krishna's sitting there going, where are my friends? And he goes to look for them, and they're gone. The cows and the cowherd boys are gone. Where did they go? Huh? Lord Brahma stole them. Oh my gosh. So, why did Lord Brahma steal him? He thought he'd play a little trick on Krishna. So the thing, though, is that we don't play tricks on our spiritual master. As a matter of fact, one time, Srila Prabhupada, one of the devotees, his disciples, played a trick on Srila Prabhupada. I can't remember the exact trick that was being played, but Srila Prabhupada was said to, his eyes became red with anger at this devotee playing a trick on him. Establishing, Srila Prabhupada's love is there, that, we need to teach each other properly, and it's not appropriate to prank your spiritual master. So Lord Brahma, though, he thought he'd prank his spiritual master, his supreme personality of Godhead, Krishna. And so Krishna immediately knew what happened, that Lord Brahma had thought about playing this prank. And so what does Krishna do? He out-pranks him. Wow, I like it. Krishna says, I'm going to out-prank Lord Brahma. And so he splits himself into every cow that's gone and every cowherd boy that's gone, right? And so, so they go about their regular day, and Balaram is noticing something. He's noticing that in the land of Vrindavan, in the village of Vrindavan, that everybody is showing the mothers and fathers are showing so much love to their children. Of course, every devotee loves each other, but this was unusual. So Lord Balaram started thinking, what's going on here? So he went to Krishna and said, Krishna, what's going on here? And so Krishna told him he was let in on the prank, right? Hey, well, we're actually doing a reverse prank on Lord Brahma. And so Lord Brahma started to get a little bit anxious because he started to think about what he really did, and so he decided in a moment he would come back. But in the moment that Lord Brahma is gone in the land of Vrindavan in this world, how long was the time? That was 1 year, right? So a moment in time for Lord Brahma is 1 year. So he came back, and what was Lord Brahma's reaction? He was stupefied, right? Like, what? Like, what's going on here? Like, he looks back, looks forward, looks back. Like, I have the cows. Wait, the cows are. Wait, He's, what? and so Krishna lets him in on it. Says, Lord Brahma, or Lord Brahma figures it out, right? But he's stupefied so much that he can't even say something. But Lord Brahma goes to a point where he apologizes, right? And then he gives these beautiful prayers. So this is a very important story in our Srimad Bhagavatam, because one, like I was mentioning, we don't try to prank our spiritual master. And two, that Lord Brahma is this amazing creator and has all these mystic powers given to him by who? Krishna. And so this opulence that Lord Brahma has been given needs to be used for Krishna's service. But Krishna is a sincere devotee, and so he made a mistake. Did I say Balaram? Who? Krishna is very sincere devotee, as Lord Chaitanya. Thank you. Thank you, Drista. So Lord Brahma is a very sincere devotee of Krishna, and so when he made this mistake, he was very apologetic, right? So this is our Krishna, that even Lord Brahma, who made this big, gigantic universe and has got these wonderful mystic powers that he can do things, Lord Krishna stupefies even Lord Brahma, right? But there's one thing else I wanted to mention, is that you can see in here as the engineer, Lord Brahma is using what Krishna has given him for the service of Krishna. And being that sincere devotee, he wants to use all opulence that Krishna has given to him for Krishna's service. And so we can take a great lesson in this, and that we're also being given some kind of opulences, right? We have a certain level of fame, certain level of power, certain level of knowledge, renunciation. The 7 opulences, we have a certain amount of level of these, right? As a spirit soul, we have it in full, right? But as a conditioned soul, we're given a certain amount, our quota, right? And so I would encourage that as devotees, being sincere in our devotional service, to do our best to serve Krishna and to share Krishna with others, that we humbly pray to Krishna, Krishna, you give me whatever opulences is needed for my devotional service. So, Krishna, we're saying we're open to whatever you want to give me. And I'm also not hankering after that which you don't give me. It's okay. But if I'm to get some fame or some power or some wealth or knowledge, I will use these in Krishna's service. And you know what will happen? We will make mistakes. Lord Brahma makes mistakes. But you know what we do? In sincerity to try to do and make progress in our devotional service, we make adjustments. So sometimes we have to eat some crow, they say in America, right? We as devotees don't eat any. But sometimes we have to eat a little crow. We use an opulence in a way that becomes for our pleasure, and it becomes evident, right? But we chant Hare Krishna, we chant our 16 rounds, we fall asleep during Srimad Bhagavatam class, we listen to Srimad Bhagavatam class, and that is our safety. So we don't have to be afraid of those opulences. What we have to be more attached to is making progress. How do I learn to use these more and more and more in Krishna's service and be able to make adjustments? See, in devotional life, our progress is what we're trying to do. The love of Godhead is only in one person's hands. That's Krishna. And he'll give it to you when he wants to. But our duty as devotees is to make progress, to continue to take steps, to continue to try to understand better how to use everything in Krishna's service and not use whatever he doesn't give us. We're okay. Renunciation. We need a certain level of opulence and renunciation, right? So, for instance, in my life, I've seen that trying to understand the body I have, this thing that I've given, my vehicle, I try to understand it. How can I use it in this way, and how can't I use it? And in the progress, I get a little bit more understanding of what my boundary is, what my service is. And in that, I find joy making progress. Yes, every once in a while I look back and go, oh my gosh, I have so far to go and I make so many mistakes in this stuff. But then I sometimes take a deep breath and go, you know what? Where was I 5 years ago? Wow, Krishna is so kind. My guru is so merciful that I'm making progress. So for instance, one thing in particular that I've learned about myself is that my communication, I have a really strong Mercury, and so communication in my vehicle is very strong. But it comes with a nakshastra called Shlesha, and Shlesha is very interesting because it has can be toxic when given too much, but yet in small doses, it's very purifying and very healthy. And so I've noticed that when in my communication, when I'm overbearing and too strong in my communication, like talking too much or being overbearing, people get very offended by it. They're like, whoa, Nandabraja, chill, So over time, I've had to learn that hey, if I see people not responding, and then I need to step back. I need to step back and be okay with it. And then basically what I'm trying to say too is that I try to understand that they have personal space that they want. They're giving me visual cues and sometimes verbal cues to say, hey, I need this space. And my responsibility of myself, my communication, is that I need to see this. I need to see this person needs their personal space, and therefore I back off, right? If I continue to push, then it's actually very disrespectful. It's actually toxic, like I was saying. It's actually very poisonous to the relationship. And so over time, the opulences Krishna's given me, I see, okay, in communication, I need to use it in this way. And I progress by learning it more and more and more. And I try to use it in a way that I encourage others. But when I see that I'm not encouraging others, then I need to think about it. So my point being is that we each have a vehicle that is very particular to them. And if we are open and sincere to understanding that vehicle that we have, the opulence that we have right now, what happens is that opulence grows. We get more facility to use. We can progress in how we use it. But we need the process to be able to understand that. So sometimes as devotees, we're so scared of the process of misusing things that we falsely renounce. The idea in Krishna consciousness is not falsely to renounce. It's to go, I have a duty to do. I'm going to do it. I'm going to use my vehicle. I'm going to use the things I have, and I'm going to do the best I can for Krishna service. And I have great confidence that the mistakes I make, He will show me, and I'll correct it. And a matter of fact, it will become gold. If Krishna corrects you, beautiful, right? That's greatest. If I make a mistake and I'm taught how to adjust so that I can better serve Krishna, that's my greatest treasure. Oh my gosh, how fortunate I am. So I mention this because Lord Brahma is a devotee of Krishna. He's the head of our sampradaya. He's a very sincere devotee. He has all opulences that we can even imagine, more than we can. And he's using them the best he can. And he made a mistake in the sense of trying to play a prank on Krishna. But Krishna is so merciful that he showed Lord Brahma in the proper way how to readjust. I'll mention one more thing, and then I'll open it for questions. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur was a magistrate. He was a judge. And within 5 minutes of his judgments, he would take and write something on a piece of paper and he put it off to the side. And his bailiff noticed this. He says, hey, what are you writing down when every time we have a court, I see you write something down. Put it. He says, oh, that's my judgment. What? But if you know the judgment, then why do we spend 2 days or 1 day or 3 days or a week sometimes in court? He says, because they need the process. They need to go through it. If I just tell them my verdict at the very beginning, they won't understand it and they won't accept it. So similarly as devotees, we have to go through the process. We need to keep making progression, and we start seeing, oh, that's how that's supposed to be used. That's why my guru says that. That's why Srila Prabhupada says that. That's why Krishna says this in the Bhagavad Gita. And we get this practical knowledge. And then one day, because we keep on making progress like that, boom. Krishna says, okay, Krishna Prema. But until then, we just keep on making progress. We keep on going through the process. We keep on chanting our rounds as sincerely as we can. And we just pray, Krishna, please let me use everything in your servants. And I surely know that you are giving me everything I need and you will protect me. This is confidence that Srila Prabhupada talks about in the Nectar of Instruction. Enthusiasm is the action that we take with the opulences that we have, the resources that we have. And patience is, you know what? When Krishna is ready to give me Krishna Prema, he'll do it. That he is my master. And when my master decides to give me my scraps, then I will take it. But if Krishna decides to give me my Krishna Prema, then that is very nice also. It's up to Krishna, right? I'll open it up there for questions and comments. Please, devotees, what do you have to say? What do you think? About Priya Prabhu and Tulsi Saki. Tulsi Saki. Priya Prabhu has to leave sometime kind of early. Could we please?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Nanda Raja. I just want to start by appreciating your class. It was really a masterpiece of a class.
Oh.
You had humor, you had philosophy, you had personal application. It was really like complete and enjoyable, transcendentally enjoyable.
Thank you.
I wanted to add a couple of things that I thought that I've heard in relation to this section about Hiranyakashipu glorifying Lord Brahma. So one thing is that it's kind of like flattery. He's like flattering him. He's just like excessively. He kind of knows that Lord Brahma is not God, and he doesn't even want him to be God. He doesn't want anyone. He wants to be God himself. Anyways, he's excessively. He's just pouring it on to try to build Brahma up, so he'll be like ultra pleased, and then give him what he wants. So it's all just like self-interested. He's not really glorifying Brahma. He's just flattering him and trying to get what he wants out of him. And then another thing is that he's also in his mind, because remember, like we heard yesterday, that his goal is to get the post of Brahma. He wants to get the position of Brahma. So he's worshiping Brahma in order to, get the power that he has to boot him out of his place and become the, the head of the solar system or whatever. So he's kind of like, he's painting, what he's doing here in his praises is he's painting a picture of who he wants to be. Right? Like, I'm going to be Brahma, and oh Brahma, you're this great person, and you're this powerful person, and you're the supreme, and you're the Paramatma, and you're controlling everything. Because he's basically like writing his wish list for the position that he wants to occupy. So it just shows like how deep his illusion is, One, that he's going to occupy the position. Two, that he's thinking the position is something it's not. And it's just, Hiranyakashipu consciousness.
Thank you so much for both those points. If I may just comment on the first one, I was actually we were reading it, and I was thinking, this is flattery. So that was a real confirmation. I really appreciate it. And so we can use that if we really want to have a lesson in what flattery is, as we do, and what really, like, am I speaking to this person this way because I want something from them? Maybe even I want them to like me, or I want this out of them. Or am I really just genuinely want them to be happy? I just really want to comment then that I hope that maybe I can touch their heart a little bit and give them some enthusiasm. But what can I do? I can only try, So here you go. But if we're trying to, how about this? Like, you know, that's funny. Our boss at work. Oh, boss, you're so amazing at managing people, because we're thinking, oh, we're going to take over their positions. Someday I'll take. Okay, that's a good point. Thank you so much, Prabhupada Priya Prabhu. Tulsi Saki.
Oh, I just want to say that what I said before my comment, my appreciation, it wasn't flattery. I really felt it.
No, yeah. I actually was thinking this before I was giving class, and I appreciate you saying that, because I wanted to thank all of you, actually. I find so much joy in our Srimad Bhagavatam here in Kalashanji, not just giving it. I like listening to, but I do like giving it, because I have so many people here that encourage me, and I want to thank you guys, because I make some strides. I make a little bit of progress with this Srimad Bhagavatam class, and you guys allowing me to sit here and speak on it. I thank you so very much. Thank you.
Thank you for giving class again, Prabhu. So many questions, but one question is from the verse itself. The translation says, "Grant me that my death not be brought by any being other than those created by you." So I'm like confused.
That was like, yeah, that was a clause. That was an opening right there. Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah,
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, wait a minute, like that's a pretty easy opening.
Right. So does that mean he's saying not be brought by any being other than? So he wants someone that Brahma has created. I mean, he's saying if you have created, only
Then
that person can kill.
Yeah, and Brahma, like I didn't get that either, because I thought, well, Brahma created an ant in a sense. See, I heard it in a different way. I think kind of like like anybody you create can kill me, but no one else can.
Yeah, so I was like, was he covering for, because in the translation I was saying he's covering for Shiva and Vishnu, because he knew. So that's why. And then anyway, the second question to what Prabhupada Priya was also, the whole thing about flattering Brahma. So my question was like, so Brahma was aware that he's glorifying him and it's not to what he is, and he still was like, no, it's not me, it's Vishnu.
I've been speculating on this a little bit. Because I happen to have the Vyasa on, I'll speculate. In my speculation, I think Brahma is very clear what Hiranyakashipu is going to do here. I by the way, I'm not saying I'm right, but here's my. I think Lord Brahma is smart enough to realize that Hiranyakashipu's, this is what he's doing. However, he has a duty to do that when somebody does these austerities, then Lord Brahma has to reciprocate. But Lord Brahma has so much confidence in Krishna that he knows that if he does his duty, Krishna will still take care of it. There's a story like that where it's actually a devotee gives the opulence knowing, please say it if you like, but there's incidences like this where the devotee knows that the person is taking advantage of the situation and they still play their part, knowing that they have to play their part and knowing that Krishna will take care of it. So my thought is Lord Brahma is smart enough to know that he's not getting duped by Hiranyakashipu. He does know what's going on, but he's got a duty. I do my duty, and I know that Krishna will take care of everything. And so, so like even if we have to play the role of a demon, as Chitrikeshu, we just read it. Vitrasura has to play the demon. He goes, my duty is to play the demon. And Lord Brahma knows that his duty is to play Lord Brahma, and this is what he gets to do. Please, if anybody has any insights on that, or then please let me know. Please let us know.
We had covered 2 days ago the demigods announced to Brahma, because they can read his mind, read Hiranyakashipu's mind essentially, and they say he's coming for your post. He's doing these austerities because he wants to become you. So please go and address it.
So it's very clear that he knows what's going on.
Yeah, and also Lord Brahma is just very, his body's made of intelligence. It's like, Oh, wow.
When Lord Brahma changes bodies, it's because he changes his attitude. And I'm not kidding. It says that in Srimad Bhagavatam, that he's intellectual. Okay, to your first question, it seemed to me that Achyuta Govinda Prabhu had an answer to that with, or comment on it, yes.
No, what I think Dashtadimna Prabhu just made it clear that Brahma is the most intelligent person. You can't imagine anyone more intelligent than him. I don't think so. He would be fooled by the flattery of Hiranyakashipu.
Yeah.
That's one thing. And then I was also thinking, like the other day, I think in the class we heard like how the analogy was given, like if like a child wants sugar candy or ice cream or whatever, and the child is sick, the child goes to the shop. The shopkeeper would just give it, because he's getting money and he's just giving. But if the child goes to his or her parent, the parent knows the actual what will actually benefit, and which is like Krishna is not going to give. So I think Brahma is in that sense, he's just duty bound.
Yeah.
Hiranyakashipu did his austerities, and he's duty bound to reciprocate.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Already there in the discussion.
Yeah. So the question is that comment. I think that maybe we table it and try to like figure it out, because I was also like, I didn't understand that comment. Any other comments, questions, thoughts? What do you think? What do you think? Grab the mic. What's your question? Hare Krishna.
Actually, I want to ask on behalf of them which they asked me, Prabhu. So they are curious why in Bhagavatam such high respect is given to Hiranyakashipu. He's a demon. It says, the shloka says, Shri Hiranyakashipu Ruvacha. So can you please clarify?
So, we go up a little bit, Drista? Wow. I am stupefied. Shri Hiranyakashipu. Why is Hiranyakashipu being addressed as Shri?
It's just a philosophical speculation. I think that is allowed. So in India, we still have the culture. Growing up, we saw every boy or man has the prefix as Sri. Okay, so my legal name is Gajanan, so Sri Gajanan. That is, and Srimati. So Shriman and Srimati, Shri and Srimati is commonly, prefixed. Every name is prefixed with Shri, and female name is prefixed with Srimati, considering that they represent Lakshmi Narayan. So in that sense, I'm just speculating. We also see Shukdev Goswami, he addresses Duryodhana as Suyodhana. His parents basically named him Suyodhana, but because of his activities, eventually people started addressing him as Duryodhana. So actually his name was Suyodhana. No parents would name their child as Duryodhana, the bad. So similarly, probably originally he's a devotee of the Lord, so his angle, looking at the things is Jai Vijay, and just speculating.
Thank you, Prabhu.
So
we've got confirmation. Bing.
So Nainanvita just asked me a question. She's asking.
No. Give her the mic. Give her the mic. Give her the mic. No? Okay, go ahead.
So she's asking then why not Shri Vritrasuruvacha? Why not there's no Shri for Vritrasur?
You're so smart. You're so intelligent. I mean, like, the other day I'm sitting here chanting some rounds, and what's her name? Starts with a V.
Varshini.
Varshini is sitting here with her mom doing her schoolwork, and I'm like, please, Krishna Kalashanji, may my next life, may I sit in your temple and do my schoolwork. Oh my God, this is amazing, Go ahead.
I was thinking along those same lines, like, who are these kids? You know, like, my God, what wonderful questions. What a wonderful questions, Naranvita and Jaishnav. Thank you.
What do you think? Let's give her the mic. What do you think? Why not?
It's okay. Let her gradually.
No? Okay.
Yeah, about that Sri Hiranyakashipu, whatever Gokulananda Prabhu said, it is actually exactly right, because yesterday when I was driving to Mother Chandravali, we were hearing a class from His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami. Pretty much, I think, same topic. So he mentioned that, you know, one may ask a question that in Gita, Krishna says that you know, once we go back to Godhead, yad gatva na nivartante, we don't come back. But how come Jai Vijay, they were in spiritual world, Vaikuntha, how come they came back, came to the material world? So then Srila Gurudev mentioned that, you know, that is Ed Gatvana Nivartante is applicable for the conditioned souls, but Jai Vijay, they were doing the service of the Lord. So that's why they became Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, and then later again Ravan Kumbhakarna, and also Shishupal Dantavakra, and eventually in Lord Chaitanya's Leela, Jagai Madai. So they are playing a role. They are participating in the pastime of the Lord. So I think sometimes Sukadev Goswami gets carried away being them as a devotee, and so she.
Very nice. Wow. Expert answer. Wow. Okay. Any, don't be scared. Krishna is your supreme shelter, right? And in this adventure, there's ups and downs and lefts and rights. But he's got you taken care of. Okay? So we make mistakes, we get back up, we make we get a win, we say, thank you, Krishna, I got a win today. But we also take the mistakes as wins too, because we turn them into gold by making progress towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead's lotus feet, Sri Sri Radha Kalashanji's lotus feet, Sri the Prabhupada's lotus feet, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Sri the Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Pramanande Hari Hari Bo, Vanchika Patarubhyascha, Kripa Sindhu Bhyevacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha, Antikoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.